Sydney. I'm here for just a couple of days. I'd love to say I'm here just to hang out and take photos, but I'm actually here for some work and I've got a tiny bit of time, tiny bit of free time, which is why I'm out stupidly early to try and grab some photos while I'm here. So I'm heading down to a place called, I think it's called Mrs. Macquarie's Point, which according to my extensive research should be an okay spot to grab some photos. I was actually there, I flew in yesterday and I went down to this spot yesterday just to scope it out, and yeah, I think it'll do. I was planning to get out much earlier than I am, but it's taken me a little bit of time to get going, and then once I got going, it's taken me a little longer to get where I'm going to than I planned. But hopefully I can get there in time and set up and grab some shots. Well, there's a little bit of colour in the sky, so see how we go. Oh, is my camera about to slip off the rocks? That would not be good. So I'm not usually one to take photos of tourist attractions and landmarks like this, but you know, given the limited time that I've got and the fact that I'm practically never in Sydney, I thought this might do. I'm quite sure that I'm not the first, nor will I be the last person to take this exact shot, but you know what, it's going to be the first and the last time that I take this shot, so I think that's all right. So what I've got in mind is I've got my wide angle lens on, obviously setting up on those rocks, which are going to be quite prominent in the foreground, and then with the wide angle, the bridge and the Opera House are going to be quite small. Well, you know, a bit smaller in the frame, but I think that'll suit me. It's a little bit difficult manoeuvring around on these rocks, but the good thing is there's no one else here. When I was here yesterday, that place was pretty packed out with people. All right, so I'm not totally satisfied with this composition, I don't think. It's funny how things always go differently in your mind, and then when you sort of turn up somewhere, they potentially turn out a little differently. There's barely any colour in the sky. I was hoping the clouds would sort of catch a little bit of colour, but that hasn't really happened. So I'm going to go for a long exposure and try and get sort of really blur those clouds out with a bit of movement. So see how that plan goes. So I ended up sort of shifting around quite a bit and trying a few different compositions out. Not quite as easy as well, I didn't think it'd be easy, but I guess I didn't go quite as far as finding the shot that I had hoped I would get. At the moment I'm set up, I'm taking a 4-minute exposure with my 10-stop filter. Wasn't really any colour to speak of in the sky. I was hoping there might be a little bit with the sunrise, but that didn't quite eventuate. So I've been on these rocks for well over an hour, I think, and eventually I think I've found something, a composition that's going to be okay, or that I'm going to be reasonably happy with. Took a while, and it's still not great. It's still not great, but it'll do. It'll do. So I think that turned out okay eventually. I think the shot I got's kind of a little bit moody and not your typical postcard shot, which is good. But yeah, it's been a good morning. It's always good to go somewhere new.